Come with me to the Atlas Mountains.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining in. So today we're going to talk about the Atlas Mountains. So why did I go to Atlas Mountains? So it was one of those things where we kept hearing about it. You know, the Atlas Mountains is definitely an iconic place that you may have heard about via textbooks or just, you know, in the world. So it is a staple place. It stretches in North America. It starts in Morocco near the Atlantic Ocean and stretches out for about 1,600 kilometers across the plains. There's different levels to the mountains. I had the opportunity to go to the Oreca Valley. The Oreca Valley is definitely more mountainous, where you can like hike and you can dirt bike and things like that. For me, we just really went for a sightseeing tour. It was just a quick short trip from Marrakesh. It took about an hour to get there. How did we get there? We used it wasn't an Uber. They don't have Ubers in Morocco. However, they have taxis, so you can flag down a taxi. And this was something that a lot of different taxi drivers definitely told us we should check out.
Marrakesh, Mama Africa, marhaba, marhaba.
Yes, this is the tour guide. He's showing us
driver guide, not tour guide, driver guide.
Driver guide.
Driver guide speak 5 languages.
5 languages.
Yunus Al Maswab, 1,000 welcome to Morocco.
Yes.
Everyone you come Morocco, I blow your mind.
Ooh.
I'll show you beautiful things.
Yes. He's showing us a beautiful time.
This is our right side here.
And we wanted to check it out for a few different reasons. Also, we were on our way to the Agafe Desert. So on your way to the desert, you meet the mountains first. So it was kind of like a little on the way, a little out the way. It didn't take us too far off our course. So it was definitely something we wanted to check out. So in the Oreca Valley, you are going up and you're going to have the opportunity to stop. And a lot of times in Marrakesh, one thing you will find out is they love argan oil. Argan oil is everywhere. They use that on everything. Okay. Argan oil they have for food. You can put it on food. You can cure yourself with the argan oil. You have cosmetic argan oil, and they make it right there in the mountains. And in the mountains, they have the pharmaceutical ones. They have the non-pharmaceutical ones in the markets, but in the mountains, they're literally making it right there. And then they say they package it there as well too. I was kind of a little skeptical about that because I didn't see any machinery to produce the packaging, so it seems like they may ship it off somewhere and so forth, but I could be wrong. They said it was produced there, they said it was made there. Believe in that. So with that being said, I had the opportunity to actually sit down, and they will sit down and show you how they make it. You have the opportunity to taste test it, everything. Check it out.
Okay, firstly, can you see the picture? This one's the argan tree. It grows only in Morocco, between city Agadir, Tardan, and Essaouira. And also we have in Mexico, we have the tree. We don't have the fruits like this. Okay, for prepare the oil, we must different step. Okay, for the first step, we remove the shell to get the nut inside. And after, we break to give you the small almond. Okay, this is for making, this is for, you can use it for fire, and this is small the almond. We have 2 types of the oil. We have natural, we don't roast it, we can use it for cosmetic, and this is we roasted one, you can use it for cooking or for eating. And for eating one, we can put it a little one in traditional meals. The place to get the best. And after we can mix it only by hand, and each 5 minutes we add some warm water for filter it or separate the oil. And this is the rest, or this is the leftover. This is the making the black soap or the body scrub. You can use it for Hammam Morocco. You can use it like exfoliations. Okay, thank you.
So now that you checked it out, you can see firsthand. It's definitely harder than what it looks like. I will tell you that. I tried to squish the argan nut, and I could not. They were looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl? So definitely it's something that looks much easier than what it is. The argan peanut butter they have, it tastes phenomenal. You get to taste test it, things like that. So stopping and talking with the ladies in the mountains, that's literally what they call them, because they're women that kind of created their own society within the mountains, and they use this argan business to kind of provide for their community. And it's a ton of single, widowed, or just single women that are in the mountains. So when you are visiting them, you are actually supporting their community. So of course I bought and indulged in some argan items, and definitely they're really good for you as well. So I'm excited to see, you know, how those work out for me. Definitely they have the tea there, the Moroccan tea that is famously known for their mint tea. They had that available as kind of a sign of hospitality when you arrive as well too. Also, so that's the first stop in the Atlas Mountains. Then we continue to tread up the mountains. You see a lot of different, they have rug stores, as you can see. They have different shops for pottery and clays. They have something called a tangerine, is a pot that you can actually cook in. And you cook like a certain meat in it, or different traditional Moroccan dishes. And that's where they make those tangerines. So if you want one like custom made or handmade, that's where you would get it from. They are pretty heavy. They do have like miniature ones. They have ones super small, and then they have huge ones as well. So if you're looking for one, that is the place to stop and buy it, as it's a popular item for the traditional locals, and it's also a popular tourist item to take back home. So definitely that's where you can find it there, custom made. Then moving forward, you have the you continue to go up the mountains. You'll see a beautiful waterfall in the springs, and there are a lot of sightseeing places where you can stop and you can take in the views, and you can see like overlook areas along the way. There's some houses up there. Did not stop at a lot of the sightseeing places because there's no rails. It's really like standing at the edge of a cliff, so I passed, but definitely I was able to see what I could see from the car, as you guys can see, until we got to actual sightseeing stop, which was the waterfalls. From the waterfalls, we had the opportunity to hike even further up the mountain. 20 more minutes, we would have gotten to a peak, but I did not have my hiking shoes, as this was definitely a very random activity that we did. So we stopped for a dining experience on the river. Oh, excuse me. Due to COVID, a lot of the places, speaking of sneezing, due to COVID, a lot of the places along the river were closed. They said pre-COVID they were all open. They had live music. And I could see just from like the placement of those locations that it was definitely a fun-filled activity, and they had lots of things going on. The one we went to, they had live music. It was on the river. Got to eat. It was super cool experience. The only thing I would say is that the weather, it was definitely hot. It was about 82 degrees outside. So with it being 82 degrees, it's just super sunny. So they have a side where it's completely shady where you can sit on. They have an area where you can kind of sit down lower on the ground, more traditional style, and then they have a side where it's sunny. So we did sit on the side that was sunny. The good news is they had umbrellas that they can bring to you, so you won't be out there completely, but I would highly recommend, if you do happen to go to this location, that you sit on the other side. You can't miss it. You'll see all the tourist buses and cars kind of stop. It is like an official stopping point where you'll have to walk the rest of the mountains, just because it's really hard to get up there. So right now we're here at the Atlas Mountains, on your way up to the top of the mountain, there's a beautiful, beautiful place that you can stop and have lunch right on the river. Take a look. So we're sitting that close to the water while eating outside. You can choose to sit in the shade. You have some people sitting over there in the shade, or you can sit directly out in the sun. So just some food for thought when you are kind of going up the mountains in that perspective. But that's the Atlas Mountains, and I would highly recommend check out my other videos from Marrakesh below. Cheers.